Welcome everybody to the two-man power trip, the black man starting the nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow,
And I'm the man with the plan, Maurice.
and we're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. What's up, what's up, what's up, co-host?
What's good, bro? What's good?
Yeah, let's step in the vibe, guys, and let's talk about our week. How was your weekend, brother?
You know what? The weekend was chill. I hung out hung out late Sunday.
Yeah.
So, a lot of personal eventful stuff,
Yeah.
weekend time. But like I said, then like Sunday into Monday morning, I just hung out. And then we started the work week, which was, standard dip BS. Work is work.
Yep. Trailing back from Friday, we went to 8-bit, so we had
Yep.
we played them games for a couple hours and stuff like that. Very good class stuff. Found some stuff that we could connect to next time for sure.
Oh, for real. I need my lick back.
Fight games is good. I mean, you whooped my ass in that Zeo Ranger cart shit.
Listen, so I forgot how bad that thing was.
That was one hell of a mess, and that fall through roof, that's mess too.
Yeah, I mean, Rainbow Road was like child's play. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that was a mix, but they got tons of games up in there. I know the other spots is probably bigger, but just in general, that was a fun way to kill time. The people was in there, it was nice. The food was pretty good, good prices, just fun time to be had by the video game spots.
Yo, it definitely was. That was a good time. We'll be back. We definitely will be back.
Definitely, we'll be back and around and all that. Besides that, for me, Saturday, me and Lily went on the food hunt. She had a whole list with that, so I think we hit up like 6 different spots.
Oh wow.
So we went around the area. I think.
So what was y'all snagging on?
Ultimately, I think there was like five full spots that I haven't been to, and then one that was just kind of a regular. Pulling out the list, I gave Ranjay the full breakdown because he was asking the spot. So
Let the viewers know. Let the viewers know the spots.
So we started out with a place called Cafe Lira, which is kind of like a fancy, bougie, like white coffee and paste spot.
Okay.
It's got like nice vibes in there, but it's your coffee spot and stuff like that. We went there because they had like some fancy frappuccino shit that we was trying out.
Okay.
La Latona de Vito. We went in there they had a lasagna flight. So
Ooh.
lasagna flight is basically they give you like various different lasagnas. You can pick between like the meat version or the veggie version.
Oh.
And they give you like four different lasagnas, and they're all breaking down to little cups and stuff like that. But you can taste test, try them. And we picked the meat one. It was good. That's just
Okay.
So,
Good.
So shout out to that. We went to Taco Mahal for Indian taco. So we've been.
That's always good. Yeah.
So really wanted to get something from that. That's great. And then we went to a spot called Shingane, which is a mom and pop shop. Legit.
Oh.
They's only been open for about 5 months. He was giving us his full story. They sell the trendy goddess buns that you see in Japan and Korea. The man gave us his story about how he came here, Korea, and he's the only one in New York City doing these goddess buns and stuff like that. And he's definitely got a niche market out for him. He's got a spot. Literally, him and his wife working on this stuff. They close on Sundays. I think they're open throughout the weekend and Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
But they're super nice, super cool. Goddess buns is about $6. You can get it for a nice snack. Get it on the go and stuff like that. It's in the city, but shout outs to them. They're really pulling through, and it's really nice and stuff. That watching people, grow ground up and stuff like that, and get these spots. It's always nice.
How was the goddess bun?
It was good. Good snack on. I had the chocolate, and Lily had the. It's good stuff. Shout outs to them, and I hope they continue to prosper.
Nice. Yeah.
Then after that, we went to a spot called Evil Katsu, which they have comfort ramen and Jack sandwiches. I got the katsu chicken sandwich that makes up for when me and Lily and Brenda and Kenya to third rate place that had a souffle Japanese pancake.
Oh.
I had my evil katsu. I had my katsu sandwich, and I only got to finish half of that. And then when we was going home, me and Lily realized we switched boxes, so I had the rest of her souffle pancake, and she had my sandwich. So I was so tight because I woke up that next morning, diet for that sandwich all day until lunchtime. Then I opened one box. I was like, "Where's my sandwich at?"
Oh man.
Mad boxes, so I was hurt then, so I had to replace my katsu sandwich. And definitely they definitely do it up well. I had my katsu sandwich nice Sunday, so that was good.
Cool.
Other than that, we went to a place called Appa's Pizza, which is if you're going for like a small Korean style pizza, they have that. They have all the different flavors. Their crust is they have like golden crust pizza, which is kind of a sweet kind of crust on top for this stuff like that.
Okay.
If you like that, that's good. Hook Won Dong, that's that's the new boba spot that they have in K-Town. It's on the opposite side of all the places we go to usually.
Okay.
But the spot is, I don't know when the hell they built that shit, but that spot is big on the inside. It's got mad room and stuff like that. You can get all types of snow cones to boba, sweet boba, to all kinds of stuff, pastries and stuff like that. So it's really nice, really nice. Another nice hangout spot for that. Beside that, so that was all the stuff on Saturday that me and Lily went around. On Sunday, I got to kick it with Ryan for a small bit. I asked him out to lunch. So I went to Bob. So the first time I went to go Bob White's Counter, which is famous because, shout out to you, he told me about this. He said they pressure fried their chicken.
Oh.
So they don't air fry it, they don't cook it regular. They have pressure fried, and you can taste a little of the difference if you try their chicken and stuff like that. I did chicken Caesar salad wrap, and that shit hit. That shit was, they had the croutons and the
really
Parmesan and that shit, all wrapped up together. That wrap, after I had that shit, boy, I was already tight filled. That shit filled me up. So that was a great wrap. I'll definitely be going back there again.
Yeah, that sound lit.
That shit was good. And then finally, after we finished that, we hopped up in his whip, and then we went to Donut Planet to pick up a couple of extra donuts.
No.
Donut Planet's always to hit us. That's definitely what. So it was definitely a food-filled weekend and stuff like that. And I had my fill for sure. So that was a good time weekend. See you and Lily and Ryan.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yep. So getting into the work week, it got cantankerous in this bitch this week. That shit got messy with because of the coworker left and stuff like that. It's been back and forth busy and stuff like that, and they had to ask me to help here and there, and then just a whole bunch of extra shit that's been sent to me through my email, and I had to do back and forth. And I've been doing dental for the last couple of weeks for all the other facilities, but my main facility has been holding out on dental for since the beginning of the month. So they held it out so much that when I went upstairs, they had a big ass stack, and I'm like, bro, y'all could have finished dumb long ago. So they gave me a whole stack, so I got to work on a heavy amount of that shit. It's been a slew of me going back and forth for a lot of it's been a lot of bullshit, a lot of heavy stuff, been a lot of stuff. Work is being work, but it's also being messed up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been the whole week.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this week we needed to form Nitron.
Yep. Nitron. The farting bullshit is in the background. Yep.
Well, at least we have fun on Tuesday.
Yes. Which we will talk about in the nerd news for sure. Okay. We got to give our review on that for sure. So that's the end of Vibe, guys. Let's go into our off the cuff discussion. So, co-host, do you have anything for us? Think of anything?
No, I drew a blank.
Okay, well, real quick, so I had a backup. So I wrote, what's some tropes in shows that you like, one like and one dislike for tropes in shows that you can think about?
Ooh, tropes. Oh, I hate this question because I don't pay attention to tropes.
After a few while, they started to spin up. Like for me, some tropes I like in shows is where young children in series show up for the reboots, like young kids that was like very young at the time, like maybe they were babies or really young, 3 years old or something like that, could not really have a pivotal role. But then when they do reboots or continuations of the series, you get to see the children come back up again, and they talk about their times when they couldn't really talk in the series and shit like that. I remember a specific example in Boy Meets World where Eric was dating this girl with a child, where the child was an important part of his life, and the child was taken from him all them years ago, and it was a 3-part episode like that. And
I remember that episode.
And the child left to go be with the mother, because the mother didn't want him getting too attached to the son, because that wasn't his child and stuff like that. She took the child away and stuff like that. Years later, they did Girl Meets World, and Eric was having a situation where they were trying to test out if he was a good parent or not. And what happened was that child showed up as a grown adult, and he showed up and he expressed how important it was when Eric was his pseudo father at the time. And that shit got me in the emotions. I was like, goddamn. I like to see the young kids have their shining moments in these reboot series and stuff like that, come back and show the time that they experienced earlier on in their life. That's really a touching moment.
You know what? This whole question actually brought up another question. In terms of consuming media, how do you watch your shows? What is your process? How do you go into watching the show?
Streaming? What would you
so in regards to that, what I mean, how do you watch TV? how do you watch a television show? Like, do you go on with any expectation? Do you like taking it?
I want to say depending on if I saw like a trailer or anything going into it. If I just seen a name of a title and don't see like any descriptions or something like that, well, then they're a blank slate and they have chance to either like entertain me or make me laugh or anything like that. But if I see like a trailer going in and I know what they're garnering about, I go watch it and then I go see to watch if they ever like hit a point where it goes left, where it's like nothing that they ever explained before, and then midway I'm watching this shit, it's nothing that I assumed going in, so it kind of becomes a hook or a detriment, because if I watch it and it's nothing that I expected and it's not fun, then I drop it. But if it's something that I didn't expect and it piqued my interest, then I'm gonna continue with it.
Okay.
So something like that. That's I give shows a lot of leeway and stuff like that, and I try to see I try to give it like the benefit of the doubt to balance to see if anything interests me. I also form the opinion that it could hook you at the very beginning, and then like you watch further on, you're like, this isn't it anymore, and then kind of pull off from. And then sometimes it just ends up becoming background.
Yeah, and the only reason why I brought that up is because as we were talking about the previous question, I was thinking about it and I was like, yes, the way that I view shows and stuff like that has definitely changed. So I remember before, like when I would watch a show, I would look for certain things or I would try to point things out. Now I really don't care, and what I look for is I just try to stay in the immersion. I don't try to overthink it anymore. So as long as like a show is not doing anything ridiculously, and I noticed that I watch wrestling the same way.
Yeah.
I literally watch it as the way I watch Law and Order would be the same way I watch wrestling.
Oh, okay. I mean that's a good way to take it, because I mean all these X, Y, and Z opinions will throw you the fuck off.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time. So yeah, that's a positive way to consume media, and sometimes, I mean, just like you say in general, sometimes you can get an opinion about everything, but it's like going into it, you gotta formulate your own thing. I mean, you gotta watch, see if you're entertained. That's kind of the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And just like, so I just, even when we talk about the episodes that we're going to review today, yeah. I just went in and I watched it. Didn't really have no ginormous opinion on it. Just saw how it played out. And I'll go into more detail when we get to that part. But yeah, so it's just like, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yep. So that's we're closing the book on Off the Cuff.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get into nerd and reboot news. So right off the bat, we can talk about now Fast X and our Screen X review. What did you think about both the movie and the style of way we saw them?
So the Fast and Furious movie was a Fast and Furious movie. It's action, it's stuff blowing up, it's fast cars. They got a formula and they stick to it.
Yep.
In terms of Screen X, it was okay. But I just don't think Fast 10 was the movie to really show that off.
I think it was too long. Like, I think it was too long to immerse yourself into that shit, because I kept finding myself looking at the phone, and I'm like,
yeah,
so much shit that was happening. I was like, I literally looked at you and Ranja, and I was like, at any point in time, where the fuck is the to be continued? Because there is so much shit happening that after like the sixth fight, I'm like, all right, I'm starting to feel the fatigue, and that's funny because I took a nap going into this, and then I drank coffee. So if I started yawning, it's a fucking problem.
Listen, yeah, that movie was long. All the scenes, I was like, yo, what are they doing?
Yeah,
bruh?
and then randomly they'll pick their spots to do the Screen X version where they sent all the stuff out. Now, like Branji said, the party scene, which, I mean, it's a funny thing to turn it into Screen X for, but like you said, it like kind of immerses you to make you feel like you're in the party. But then at the same time, it's like after like the seventh action scene, it's like, yeah, you're kind of getting dizzy off shit now.
Yeah, like I said, that movie wasn't the best choice for that type of format. Mm-hmm. It's like it's too much going on for you to focus on all of this.
I don't know if we end up eventually trying Screen X again, maybe probably for Transformers, whatever we figure. But this first test of it, I mean, it was just really long. That's where it boils down to.
Well, at least we know at this point we got a general idea of what it is.
Yeah.
So now, if we do decide to do it again, we know we gotta look at the movie and see if it actually is worth going to see it in that format.
Yeah, because I think under 2 hours is kind of best to work with.
Yeah, And it's just got to be a movie that has scenes that would benefit Screen X, because a lot of them don't. They're made to look at that.
They pick specifically which kind of movie they're putting in.
Yeah,
they know it's not gonna be like a talkative ass movie where it's like, what's the point in putting this here?
Yeah, it's just weird that they picked Fast 10 for that.
Yeah, I'm low key curious how we would have felt about Guardians if we saw it remake. Because Guardians was a lengthy movie too.
I don't think it would have worked either. I can't think of any scenes that would benefit from it.
I think of a couple of scenes that definitely could have worked out, but I still think like maybe after the fatigue of everything, maybe it would have felt probably different overall.
Yeah, it's got to be, in order for that thing to be good, it's got to be, I think that a movie would need to be specifically suited for it, where it's it's an integral part of the movie for that to really shine.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. For like,
maybe something like an Avatar. I hate to say it, but
which Avatar? Oh, the Way of Water.
Yeah, something like them. Something like them would probably fit a format like that.
Yeah, anything Avatar probably doing like 3D, 4D.
Yeah, so something like something like that would probably
I agree with
make use of that format.
Yeah, I definitely.
Still ain't seen it, but
No, I get you. They gonna make their money hand over fist regardless of anything.
As we've seen.
It don't fucking matter. But nonetheless, going into the next part. So, did you get a chance to watch the White Man Can't Jump reboot movie?
No, I have not.
Okay, so last Friday I watched. So I gave the reboot a chance because I haven't seen White Man Can't Jump in like dumb long. So I gave the reboot a chance because I watched that directly first. Like after we finished the podcast and shit like that, I watched the reboot first. I watched the first half, slept on it, woke up and watched the second half and finished. Then I put on the OG. Boy, I hate to compare and contrast, but I hate it when we use the titles and stuff like that because honestly, outside of the movie, like if it wasn't just called White Man Can't Jump, that I think the movie could stand. I seen a couple of reviews and people like it here and there. I feel like it is calling it by that title misses the mark on so many things. I feel like the movie is a hamstrung like hour. I want to say like an hour that feels like it's missing like 25% of what made the original exciting and shit like that.
Oh no!
Like White Man Can't Jump feels like it was based around like basketball stars and it had big names and stuff like that into it and stuff like that. But it feels like it was missing the fun part that I saw in the OG version that had like it was jumping between not only just the basketball life, the hard times of missing money and the gangster life, and the relationship between Rosie Perez and Woody Harrelson was strong. Where
they ain't do it justice.
Jack Harlow and his wifey and that shit, they feel like their connection was dry, hamstrung, where like you was in the mud with Woody and Rosie Perez and shit like that.
True.
And I'm like, this love energy that they're giving off in this reboot is so dry. They even pick a scene that I'm like, bro, you can't match the loving that they was doing in the OG. Yo, I watched that OG and I was like, bro, there's so much fun going on into this movie. And I'm like, there's so much devoid in this shit. Like the hard times that Wesley Snipes was going on with his child and trying to keep his baby mama and shit and work and stuff like that, and how like even it's so funny to say that a 2023 movie feels like it lacked the story development for women that a 90s movie did.
It sounds very Velma-ish.
It's so dry. Like I'm so confused as to why they like the women they put in this movie have so much less to do than the original. Like Rosie Perez was in the gutter with all them niggas like going through it, trying to get their money back and all this shit. I feel like none of that shit was the same. You could barely tell me what Tiana Taylor and the other girl was doing for their main part, but you could definitely say Rosie Perez was a main character in the original shit, and you're like, bro, there's so much less to do. Like Jack Harlow in that original, like he had an issue because he was going to the NBA. He had knee issues and stuff like that. That's the only issue he going on. Woody Harrelson was a guy that moved into a whole neighborhood that was dodging gangsters trying to kill him because he kept having a gambling addiction to gamble away the money. And him and Rosie Perez was dealing with the heavy parts of a relationship and shit. Like I was like, bro, the OG was doing so much. And then the original was like they gave you like an hour and 15 minutes. The movie seemed wrapped up in a nice bow and shit like that. You don't even feel like these niggas are friends while you see Woody Harrelson
Wow.
and Wesley Snipes, they was friends. They went through like enemies to friends to hella shit.
That's
so
crazy.
like there was a lot of shit going on. So I don't know. A lot of people was liking the reboot, but I tell you, if you watch the reboot and then you watch the OG after that shit, that shit's gonna bring it down. Honestly, it would have been fine if it was just something else. They could have called it anything else.
Call it something else. I think we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, we had it a lot, and this is another one that goes with it. Just call it something else because it definitely wasn't White Man Can't Jump, which is it just doesn't seem like it works as a title in 2023. Like it's definitely a title in the 90s, but like they like the beginning of the 2023 version, they're like, oh, you think I can't play basketball because I'm white? I'm like, that argument is gone. Like the 90s, you can make jokes out of that shit. 2023 is weird.
Right, these people that be trying to do these remakes gotta realize that some of these films and movies and TV shows, they're a product of their time.
100%, because Wesley Snipes was in his fucking bag. You can't compare. That's why I worry about this Blade movie, man. I can't just be redoing Wesley Snipes movies like that. Wesley Snipes was a character, bruh.
Yes, he was.
Character. Baby, he was in his bag in the 90s. Y'all can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Y'all really can't be doing that. And then the worst part about it is like, all right, so it's a reboot and stuff like that. And y'all do so much stuff that attach it to the original in so many ways that it's like, if you don't feel like Woody Harrelson, Rosie Perez, or Wesley Snipes is any part of the reboot, then this shit's already weird.
True.
Because you've already attached yourself so many times. They've done similar scenes. They are doing similar like storylines and shit like that. I'm like, bro, if y'all don't attach yourselves to them, then I don't know what y'all doing with this. Why even give it the title? It was weird, man. But nonetheless, so moving off of that, the next note I have on here is the Mortal Kombat leaked DLC hype. Yo, last week they I think Amazon had released the collector's pack or something like that with the additional fighters to the new Mortal Kombat 1 game that's coming in September. They said that shit is packed up with some of the hot names, but I think this is probably one of the hottest guest lists that works perfectly for Mortal Kombat. They said Peacemaker, they said Homelander, and they said Omni-Man. That shit gonna go crazy.
Wait, wow.
That game gonna go fucking crazy, bro. And Jean-Claude Van Damme.
They got You Can't See Me, they got Mr. Kill Everything, and they got Van Damme. Wow.
Yep. They got Think Mark Think. They got Mr. Shoot with the Laser Eyes. They got Mr. You Can't See Me. Do you really want? Taste that? Like,
right, yo.
There's so much shit that's working out. But best believe when I get that shit, I'm running Omni-Man versus Homelander like 50 times. Nah, that shit gonna go crazy, bro. I can already think of so many fatalities that nigga can do. That shit crazy. I am so hyped. The first trailer that pop out, I'm losing my fucking mind, bro. Omni-Man works so damn well if you watch Invincible. That shit is bloody as hell. That shit working in Mortal Kombat. Homelander don't give a fuck. He popping faces all the time at work. Peacemaker shooting the shotty on everybody, stabbing them up. Bro, this shit works so well. I love it. And Jean-Claude Van Damme from Bloodsport. Mortal Kombat said, yo, y'all getting everything this year.
Mortal Kombat taking that Smash Brothers route, and I'm here for it.
Give me all the bloody yes, because that shit crazy.
Try to think who else could be in there.
I don't know, but they already got me, so I don't know, man. Shit go crazy. Shit go crazy for sure.
Oh, the matchup. Oh man.
Yep. I'm thinking that shit. So on the next docket, this has been a long time coming, and now from He Who Shall Not Be Named, we can finally name it because it's gone. The Powerpuff Girls live action has been canceled.
Give me a hell yeah.
Man, after so much speculation, after going back and forth with this shit for like a solid, I want to say probably almost 2 years, they have finally announced that they are dropping multiple projects from the CW because I guess they just don't want to do superhero shit anymore. So they decided to finally make that announcement that they shut down. So no more Powerpuff Girls live action with all them ladies that was working on that shit.
I'm sorry about the ladies, but listen, we had something like that. It was called Charm. It was really good. The reboot, not so much. We don't need another one.
They could do something else. Them ladies is The ladies that they pick for the roles, they get roles in other places. They're fine. Chloe Bennett, Dove Cameron, they're working in current. I see them in current TV shows. They're fine.
Yeah,
they'll be fine. They'll be getting other roles. It's just something that passed by them. It was a passing intrigue. They'll do something.
Yeah, like not everything needs to be live action.
Hell, how about for a funny joke when they reboot the animated series? How about a funny joke where they make renderings of it and then have the girls come in for voice act? How about that?
There you go.
Yeah, if y'all really want to put them to work, there you go. So you have that.
Yeah, I was like, there's just no way you're gonna replicate the Mojo Jojo ass whoopings and live action for.
But so the next we've had a couple of trailers that dropped on stuff. So the first one, did you see the trailer for the Color Purple?
Yes, I did.
On the musical. What did
you
think?
I liked it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here. This is not a redoing, a retelling, or stuff. This is based on the musical that they had. So it's based in further notes. That's why they have all the big ass music cast for it and stuff like that. It definitely looked good. Definitely hooked me at first because I was trepidatious on the announcement, even though the casting and the musical components and stuff like that was good. But man, when Fantasia came in there singing, boy, you know the black man and all of us got hooked. So that's definitely a good thing. They said that shit's coming out on Christmas though.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh,
that's gonna be it. That's gonna be interesting for that. So we have that. Another trailer that dropped. They dropped the trailer for Kong Skull Island, the anime. Now a couple of years ago they had Godzilla the anime. So I guess this is their time up at that. So Kong Skull Island will be having an anime coming out soon. So take all your funds that you've seen from Kong Skull Island and Godzilla versus Kong and stuff like that. They go cook that up in anime form, and then I guess the next project after that we'll see is Godzilla versus Kong in anime form.
Ah, okay.
That should be interesting. Today we just got the new trailer for Barbie, which, bro, already if they didn't sell you on the concept of how weird this Barbie movie was gonna be, the new trailer that popped up caught a nigga off guard. That new trailer that they have for that Barbie movie is hilarious because that shit is so meta because that shit started off as goofy as you would imagine a Barbie movie would be in live action, but like the second they asked the question, do you guys ever think about death? I was like, oh,
that's what we doing?
That. Oh, we're doing that. And then she like tried to jump off the roof to kill herself and test run the shit, and I was like, oh, we're really doing that. Like, so that new trailer kind of sold me on a ticket that was already getting bought. So that was right. big ups on that. So between that, there was another trailer for Teenage, I think it's called Rudy Gilman Teenage Kraken that we talked about from before, which is perfect petty marketing. And I know Gary T going into the live action Little Mermaid trailer. I know they're gonna play the trailer for this movie because petty marketing is amazing, and that shit is exactly gonna work because in that second trailer they literally said there's a character moment where the main character talks to their elders and they said but people love mermaid, and in the trailer they literally said, well, people are stupid. And I know they're gonna play that before the Little Mermaid trailer. Mermaid movie.
Somebody gonna be like, yeah, this is perfect placement. Yeah, right here.
It is everything of if people are petty and mad about the Little Mermaid, there's the perfect movie to go see because it's fucking evil mermaids and a whole bunch of shit. Like it is looking at stuff from a different side, not judging a book from its cover and shit like that. Like it's really a lot to work with. Hey, so I think that's amazing too.
Right, they want to be real petty. They can add a Jamaican crab.
I mean, shit. I would like to see it. So let's see with that. Also more trailers. We got the PS5 showcase yesterday, and we saw a trailer and gameplay for the Spider-Man 2 game. Woo! Boy, they was in the studio cooking. Man, Insomniac was blessing the motherfucker again because Spider-Man 2 looked crazy.
crazy just thinking about that E3 really isn't a thing anymore.
Nah,
and we're going into June, and it's just like,
shit, they had PlayStation had to show off what goods they got, and they knew they had to come with that Spider-Man, because that shit was the highly anticipated shit, and boy, did they not disappoint. The black suit coming off that shit, the our boy Sasuke, the voice actor who's playing fucking corrupted Spider-Man in the black suit. Boy, he was cooking all them years. He was talking about the curse mark is gonna have him cook well in this Spider-Man suit, because boy, he was going in. The combos, the play style and shit like that, it's beloved. It's one. The Xbox beware, because Spider-Man 2 coming back, and it's making y'all shit look angry.
Listen, I needed something to get back into my PS5, and that seems like it'll be it.
Very well. So there you go, bro. Get back in that PS5 for sure.
Yo, for real.
So we got that, and then speaking of games dropping, we finally got the date for AEW Fight Forever. It dropping next month, June 29th. So that's fine. So are
we sure? Are we really sure?
Yes. Finally, confirmation, yes.
It took forever.
Yep. So, I mean, to be honest,
they keep it to the name. They keep it to the name.
That and it's video games, y'all. like let's be honest. As long as it's a fun and play game, but it took forever for a reason. It's a video game. Like, let's be real. It's a video game. It's a video game. Like that. This is their first video game. It's not them opening up a formula that's been done before. It's them opening up their first video game. Like, look at Cyberpunk when they decided to drop early. Like, that was a problem.
I just hope it's good.
That's the whole point. Like, that's the end point. If it's actually a good playable game, then it's actually worth the wait, because it's a game. It's a game. Like, things got to be worked on. Things have to be, like, the game was good. The game was finished, and a lot of shit was stopping it from the ratings and shit like that, X, Y, and Z. When you don't have a formula that's already been through this shit like that, you're going through your first game, you're gonna go through a whole bunch of bullshit for your game. You think creating a game and just putting out is easy? Now you gotta go through rules and regulations for a whole bunch of for no reason.
That's true, but they got people that's been around the block with that too. So
yeah, but it's still their first game to work on and shit like that to get into. Like, they've had people to be around the block, but you're trying to add in all this shit that people want and people request for X amount of years and shit like that. And then once you get up to the ratings part and that hold your game back, you're gonna be like, well, shit. We gotta pull this back.
What the ratings? You mean the player ratings?
No. Well, mean? Yeah. Remember, there's a lot of stuff that was pushing the game to like a TV, to a I think it was a M rating, and they were trying to push it for a teen rating. And shit
Gotcha.
Like that. Yeah, that's what held it off for even an additional, I think, 3 or 4 months, because they had to reapply. Once they deny your shit for a request, you gotta reapply for that shit.
Yeah. Probably don't play with that. So yeah.
Like hell, we know all about reapplying for shit, getting it denied, and reapplying again. Like, this shit take time. Just to get a denial is a time, and then to reapply is another time. So that's why everything just ends up fucking up left, right, and center.
Yeah, I wonder if they're actually gonna use the rating system this time. Well, just go around, unlike Dynamite.
Well, let's see how that works. So we'll see when that drops. So we have that. Also, so there's been images, and I think there was like a big thing about I think Zoe. So the old show with Jamie Lynn Spears, Zoe 101 was they dropped the little image that says there's a movie coming out called Zoe 102. So I guess that's gonna follow up on people's lives and stuff like that. But it's controversial because at this point everybody hates Jamie Lynn Spears because of the whole shit that's going on with her sister. So it's kind of the worst look for her, and this shit coming back, even though fans have requested and stuff like that. It's a back and forth situation. So I put on the note that this is a Zoe 102 controversy because if you look at the comments and all that shit and stuff like that, once they drop, there's a whole bunch of people like #fuck Jamie Lynn Spears for her role in like the demise of her mind of her sister and shit like that, and a whole bunch of XYs. That gets messy in putting out the show.
Yeah, there's a lot around that.
Yep. So beside that, we have Michael B. Jordan, his time in Japan, showing off Creed 3, and whoever saw Creed 3, there's an additional look on his anime. So Creed's having an anime coming out soon. I don't know exactly when, but it looks like some of the key animation visuals have been done for it. So that's why Michael B. Jordan was in Japan promoting his Creed 3 movie. And I think he stopped into the Naruto studios where they gave him, like, I think Kishimoto or the team hand drawn him like a Naruto piece and stuff like that. He was in front of Dragon Gates Wrestling with the title, with a boxing title and stuff like that. He went all through Japan and stuff like that, engulfing himself in the culture some more and showing off and stuff like that. So hopefully the Creed anime has some. I heard people that saw some snippets that reminds them a little bit of Hajime no Ippo with good. That's kind of the best boxing anime that you could be called out to be alike and shit like that. So all good vibes, and you know, Michael B. Jordan immersing himself in the culture is never any bad. It's kind of good to see him around the studios and shit like that, especially with his history of saying Naruto wrong and Naruto Shippuden and all this shit. So like it's good to see him around the folk like that who can tell him how to say it right.
Okay, no, that's good.
Yep. So going forward, apparently there's something stuck in the Disney vault that Disney been holding on to that's just been kind of it was like dropped in the notes last week, and people found out about it and it was like, what the fuck? So apparently hidden in the Disney vault is an Alien and Predator anime that they finished working on, but it's just there in the Disney vault that they haven't released yet. And this was just news to people that was like, what the fuck? There's an Alien and Predator anime that they haven't dropped yet, so that's just sitting in the Disney vault.
I don't know why people are surprised. You can imagine how much Disney got in that vault that they haven't released.
Yeah, but I'm just interested that they're sitting on this Alien and Predator anime, and I'm like, shit, drop that shit. I'm interested to see, especially with Netflix dropping like fucking Kong Skull Island. Drop that Alien and Predator shit. Shit, be taking that freaky live action shit to anime. That's
yeah, you know they got Disney Plus now, so they got stuff they gonna pull out of the vault. They cooking.
Yeah. Let's see what they cooking with that for sure. So beside that, we got the announcement that the live action Yu Yu Hakusho, I don't know if it's a movie or the series they're doing, but that's supposed to be dropping in December.
Wait, the Yu Yu Hakusho in December?
Yep, on Netflix this December.
Okay.
I mean, we can't say anything other than the images they gave us, and they haven't given us a trailer. So I guess when the trailer, we'll continue our thoughts on that. Speaking of thoughts, did you change your HBO Max to Max this week?
It did it on its own for some things. I like on certain devices. I had to re-download the damn thing.
That's what I'm saying. So okay. So the HBO Max, when I went on the website, it shoots you over to a different website. So that's the thing about it. I thought HBO Max itself was gonna change. I didn't know it was gonna become a completely different app, which was weird. I like that rollover was weird. I didn't like all that they was explaining and shit like that. I just literally thought it was just gonna take the HBO out of the title and it was gonna be running with Mac. I don't know.
That's what I thought too, but no, it literally had me download a separate application.
That's why I was so confused. I had to switch that shit out from my PS5. I had to switch different websites and shit like that. I didn't know it was all that, so that shit got weird for a while. I thought that was a whole other thing. So getting into that, did you test out the Max app?
For a little bit.
So how do you feel? Do you feel that it's different anyway?
Well, like I said, the only thing I looked at it on was my phone, because that's when I was looking for shows to go in our next reviews. Yeah. That's the only reason why I even opened it up.
People was telling me that it runs smoother, but like I don't notice a difference. Like I was watching some of the Gremlins show that they got out now, and I don't see a difference.
Yeah, I'm like, Like I said, the only thing I noticed was just the change in logo and stuff like that.
And color.
Yeah, I really didn't have time to. Yeah, I really didn't have time to like sit down there and play around with it. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah, but I gotta test it further on my PS5. So far on the laptop, kind of out of. So next on the news agenda, gotta say R.I.P. to another Black legend. Big blessings and sent it to the family to Tina Turner. We lost a heavy legend here.
2023 strikes again.
Yep. Black legend. Pay our back love. I didn't know. I didn't even realize she lost her only 2 children these last couple of years, especially like child and stuff like that. So,
nah, that's crazy.
That's big crazy. But shit, we losing so many legends and living in a world without these legends. They gave us so much good work and shit like that they'll always be remembered. That's why they legends.
Yeah, yo, for real.
That's just crazy. But yeah, so we was talking about a couple of weeks that there was that anthology series coming to Disney Plus. Kazimoto. that shit's actually dropping July 5th, which I didn't know it was gonna drop so soon. I know they was talking about it, but I was thinking like fall or something later in the year. But that shit's dropping in July. So that's big hype. You're gonna see all the Afrofuturism in the anthology animated series. I'm so hyped to watch that. I want to see what coming out of Africa, what they got in this animation game. That shit go big lit.
Yeah, yo, that's gonna be lit.
Yep. That's gonna be great. So, beside all that, we got also in July, they announced that Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, that their big return. They're going to come back on July 3rd, and they're going to be taking up the rest of it. Every week we go and get a new episode. That's big hype. Big hype.
That's what's up.
Yep. That'd be lit. And the final news on the nerd docket is, we had the finale of Flash. Flash, been running for various years, and 9 seasons. I think right now it's all 9 are up on that. We say farewell to not only Flash but the Arrowverse in general. That's pretty much putting a bow and arrow on that. Flash. That's the end of all that. Bow and arrow on that going right in next month. Flash.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yo, wow.
Yep. So that's the end of an era, and that's the end of Nerd and Reboot news, and we can switch over to the main event. So we're in A Shot of Kurosake this week anime review. We'll be doing Akame Got Killed episode 1 and 2.
All right, yes we are. So you have some fast fact?
Yep. So gonna get to some fast fact. So just some quick notes. At the time of the release of this anime was labeled the Game of Thrones of anime at time of release, because this is the anime kind of coincide of what was going on in Game of Thrones and stuff like that. And further on watching it, you're like, oh yeah, I see that. So this is a Japanese manga series written by Takahiro and illustrated by Tetsuo Tashiro. Currently streaming on Hulu and Crunchyroll. Created by Studio White Fox and C Station. It's a seinen kind of story, manga and anime action dark fantasy. It's running from July 2014 to December 2014 anime wise, and it's got 1 season and 24 episodes. So with that, we can step into episode 1, Kill the Darkness.
Kill the Darkness, goodness gracious, what a title.
Yep.
Alright.
So we open on a cart going through the forest.
Yep.
And out of nowhere something pops up out there.
Right, so then this big dragon come out. They're like, oh shit.
They said, oh shit, it's an earth dragon.
Right? So that earth dragon's about to put him up and then slice.
Arm get taken off and bloody fast.
Real quick.
Yep.
And here we get our intro. Tatsumi. Oh, I feel like I'm butchering his name.
Tatsumi?
Yeah.
So as we seen Tatsumi, he seems battle ready and he's ready for this dragon. He dodges some combos and then he fucking comboed the hell out of the dragon. He sliced that motherfucker up.
Yeah, he did. He clutched him up good.
Yep. So the drivers are impressed the way how he took out the Earth Dragon ease. They said they referred to it. They said he took out a class 1 danger beast by himself, and then Tatsumi blushes and he kind of embarrasses himself in front of the drivers. It was like like he's so cool and shit like that, but then he starts blushing and he was like it's nothing, and they start to feel embarrassed for him. They're like, this guy's not really that cool anymore, right?
And he's like, yeah. And they're like, yo, I'm going to the city. I'm just bad. They're like, bruh, do you really know what the city is like?
Yeah, he was like, he's trying to make a name for himself. He aims to go to the capital to get some fame and riches,
right? And they trying to tell him, like, bruh, the city ain't really like that, bruh. The city's corrupt as fuck.
Listen, politics, the real monsters is the niggas inside the capital.
Yeah, for real. And then so we get some background, telling us about the city, blah blah blah. And then we get. Yeah.
So Tatsumi scoffs off the drivers, and he wants to go. He said his goal is his friends is out here and they trying to get money for the village. Like you said before, the narrator speaks of the crazy stuff of the world, shows off folks that he says work in darkness, and there's assassins. We see the people, but names are unknown for now. And then we get the opening. What's your opinion on the opening?
I like the opening.
I said it's a rock bop. To me, it's all right. It sounds something like perfect for that time when it came out in like 2014. I was like, when I heard it, I was like, it took me definitely back for that time. It was like a nice rock bop.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not super awesome amazing. It's like mid. It's mid.
Yeah, it's alright. So did you notice this? When the title screen came up, it said / the darkness.
I did not notice that.
The title in it says kill the darkness around everywhere you go. But then when you get into the episode, I don't know if it's like a censor. Because, all right, to give a background like that was going around anybody who was watching anime in a certain era, like around that time where me and my friends was in college, anime was going through a situation where they was having a lot of censorship that was going on.
I can see that.
You could watch certain shows and they would have like literal black marks on shows where if you were watching and you had to wait for like the Blu-ray for you to see the actual graphic shit. That changed now because people don't want to deal with that shit in the actual TV products and shit like that. So maybe some titles, some wordings and stuff like that had to change with sense, so they couldn't literally say kill, but the literal name of the episode was kill. So they had to change that earlier shit to /, which is weird. But it was called / the darkness when the title screen. When that popped up, I was like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah. So getting into the episode, we got Tatsumi that makes it to the capital and he aims to enlist he wants to be an imperial guard or something, and we see somebody in the corner watching him. So he goes to enlist and he talks about how he talks with the person that he's trying to enlist with. He says they gotta start him at the bottom, but he said fuck all that. I've been out here in these streets, I've been working, I've been slashing up motherfuckers. He said I want a captain position. I was like, motherfucker, who you think you is?
Yo, they really was like, bruh.
Country bumpkin and shit like that. So they throw his ass out of there. They was like, nah, fuck that shit. Come back when you ready to be a soldier.
Yo, for real, he was like, what? They was like, bruh, we in depression. Get out of here.
Yeah, I noticed that. They said they in a depression. They don't want to pay that nigga no top dollar shit like that. You got to be a soldier, brother. Tatsumi was surprised. He was like, yo, did you hear what he Loki said? Yo, Tatsumi was surprised, but he was like, I should just find somebody and stage a kidnapping to be in their good graces. I was like, this bro's a scammer.
Yeah, for real, man. Yo, for real.
Yep. So Tatsumi runs into some chick, and this is our introduction to Leon, where she says she can help him, but she calls herself Big Sis. But the introduction to Tatsumi was Tatsumi looked up and he saw big titties, and he was like, I love it here. Nigga said, I love it here. So Leon looks at him and she ain't playing with him at all. She reads him right off the bat. She was like, you a country bumpkin that tried to get in with the Imperial Guards and shit like that. You ain't nothing great. She reads him for filth.
Yo, for real. Yo, the fact that she put the swindle on him. She's like, yeah, I tell you what you need to know. Yeah, you just gotta buy me lunch.
Yep, she said she shares a secret to becoming an officer real quick, but she said at first you need to buy me lunch. And then the next scene we see, she drinking the fuck up. He said she's like in order for you to be an officer, you gonna need money and a lot of it. And she was like, I can get you in for the hookup deal. And she Tatsumi pull up all his life savings and shit like that, and he dropped the cash on her. And she was like, you know what? Wait right here. Don't worry, man. I'm gonna go talk to my peoples, and then you gonna be mad goofy.
Right, and then old boy was there waiting until the barkeep said, "Yo, bro, I would like to go home. Yo, look, she swindled you, bro."
Yeah, barkeep was keeping it real. It was like she done this to a couple of niggas in here, so don't take it too poignant and shit like that. It was like, but real talk, it's on you though. You fucked up. You can't be giving your money to strangers though.
Yeah, so. And that's the next thing we see son is on the side of the road.
Yep, Tatsumi on the side of the road. He was like, fuck it. He said, curse them titties. I mean that girl.
Yeah, right. And then he meet what's her face, the princess or whatever she is. Yeah. I don't know, for the jump, I just got a bad vibe from her.
She a rich girl. She a rich girl. Like he was laying on the streets and stuff like that. What they were saying was he ain't used to liars in his village. I guess they're a pretty honest village and shit like that. So his innocence got him wrapped up and shit like that. So he decided to sleep on the side of the road, and then all you see is a fancy ass cart stop, and then you see a girl see him on the side of the road. And even the driver said, if you pick it up, the driver even says, he's like, she's at it again. And you're like, the fuck? What that mean? So this is our introduction to Lady Aria.
Yeah, that was her name. Ooh.
Yep. So she offers him a place to stay.
Wasn't sticking.
But before he agreed to that shit, Tatsumi was like, he was skeptical and jerks the idea. He was like, you know what? You can leave me alone. You the second girl I seen today, and I don't want to get caught up in nothing shit. So her drivers come out and they help get Tatsumi on board. They were like, Lady Arya's a nice person. She could have you lay up and shit like that. She could give you a place to stay instead of, you know, staying on the dirty floor and shit like that. You don't know who could be popping up on you and shit. So they basically convinced him to go over to the house.
Yeah, so now at this point, you know, he's at the house and they're explaining stuff to him.
Yep, they meet mom and dad, Lady Arya's mother and father. Even they point out that this shit is sus because they said, "Oh, you brought another one home?"
Yeah, when they said that, I was like, bruh, another one. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, when they said another one, and they usually don't see nobody around, you're like, oh,
right.
Red flag, but whatever.
Definitely red flag, for real.
Tatsumi noticed the guards are like pretty beefy and shit like that. So he was like, you know what? He was like, if anything got crazy, maybe the guards handled the shit. That's why he was a little less guarded when it comes to like, why would these rich people let somebody like him just randomly stay at the house?
Right? He's like, why would they let me stay here?
Yeah, so Tatsumi's happy and he feel like he found good people. He talks that over with the family. He explains that the capital and the folk around and his want to fight. He explains about his crew. He has a flashback talking about him and his friends Ieyasu and Sayo. They left town to get money for their village and shit like that. And they do a little flashback, which is funny as hell. The mayor gives them something for when time gets tough, and Tatsumi instantly says, all right, yeah, when time gets tough, I'm gonna sell it. Mayor said, fuck that. This nigga gave him a talisman for God's protection, but he was ready to sell that shit off if he needed. He was like, nah, you're not gonna sell our family shit, bro. Get your shit together. Tatsumi says a bandit attack separated them all, so he hasn't seen his friends in a while. So he said his friend Ieyasu has a bad sense of direction, and when he said that, I instantly thought of Zoro from One Piece, which also was even more funny because an illusion popped up of Ieyasu, and he was yelling at him. He was like, hey, how the fuck you go talk about me like that, bro? That shit me dying. So he was talking to father, and father said he got friends that he could put in a good word that can find Tatsumi's friends for him and shit like that. So he got the good setup. So far Tatsumi's like, all right, this family great, shit's great. So the next scene we see Tatsumi looks out to the night sky and he's hoping his friends is all right and stuff.
Yeah, right. He hoping they good, but then you know the next scene, right?
Well, we in the next day. Arya goes wilding on shopping. He talks with the driver about women and how they shop and shit like that.
Yep.
And he brings up how his friend Sayo ain't the same. She don't wear all these elaborate coats and stuff like that. And now we got another illusion of Sayo who pops up, and she was like, "Bitch, that's because I was poor."
Yo, that took me out.
She was like, "Don't be fucking disrespectful, nigga. I was poor, just like you. Our village is poor. If I had money, I would have been styling and profiling like this bitch do."
Yeah, the whole finger pointing shit. Like, yo, she like, man. She was like, she pointed like, yeah, you know, I ain't got no money.
So the driver explains to Tatsumi the castle where the emperor lives. He explains that the emperor is a child and that the minister controls him. And bro, the imagery, the one thing I like about the show is the dark linings that they put for like the fucking evilest people in this show. The minister behind him, the dark linings of the images that showed up, that nigga looked like a demon. So the guard stops him from saying too much because it looks like around the area, if you talk too much about the monastery, that's your fucking head. They'll execute you for anything. They're hammering corruption all around here and shit like that. So it's a fucking mess. He talks about those who oppose is beheaded, and this was the place that added heavy taxes on his village that makes him so broke. So they're the kind of reason why they had to leave their village in the first place.
Yeah, for real.
He looks around, and they also point out the wanted ads for Akame, Bullet, and Agenda of Night Raid. The driver explains to him, he's going on a whole expedition on a whole bunch. So the driver explains to him about the band of assassins who strike at night and shit.
Yeah.
So between that and him giving him kind of the full explanation of kind of the world and where we live in and the people around. And then out of nowhere, he was talking about, yeah, we're going to need help with this big ass gift where Arya got this giant ass gift coming to her. And you're like, God damn, this chicken shop.
Yo, that chicken shop is wild.
Yeah. So after that, we skip to the nighttime and then we see the mother walking around. at night, and she's talking about, she's looking at her book, and she's thinking of different things, of flowers and whatnot, and then all we see out of nowhere, she gets carved in fucking half by someone with a big pair of scissors, who apologizes after she carved it in half. But like, when the mother realized anything that was going on, she was like, her torso was already flying in the fucking sky, the blood was already trickling and shit like that, and we see this girl in purple apologize, and we was like, oh fuck, oh shit.
Yeah, for real.
So shit goes down. Tatsumi launches into action, and he runs by the window, and he spots Night Raid, who is like 5 people, including the one who is in the house. So 6 in general, all strings, and so it's way more than the poster suggested on Night Raid and shit like that. So Tatsumi's trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
Yo, when Tatsumi was like, oh shit, the fact that she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this, I got stuff to put in my journal, and yeah, I'm like, oh shit, like, son, she got clean. Yo, son, the way she got cut up.
Yep. So after Tatsumi tried to figure what to do, we see the girl from the poster board, the Akame girl. She's springing to action, and the guards right off the bat says, you don't want to let her weapon touch you. And we see instantly why, because she starts carving them motherfuckers like no tomorrow, and then like instantly when she chops them up, you see like a black tattoo marking instantly hit their bodies, and it hits them full of poison. And then in the midst of them getting carved up, there's a combo. We see the guy from the poster board named Bullet. He throws his fucking spear, and it's crazy.
It's wild.
It's a combo. It's a double poison combo for the kill. He's stabbing these niggas up. They get hit with the poison. They are dead. Them guards are fucking dead.
Yo, them guards got washed.
They got washed. And then we see the next girl. Her name pops up. Her name is Mine, and she shot a guard from the sky because she got the big shiny no blitz sniper rifle and shit like that going down. So that's going crazy. And then we see Tatsumi running to go save Arya. And then in the midst of that, we see Leon, and she got fathered by a chokehold. This nigga asked for mercy on his daughter and his family and shit like that, and she was like, no mercy in this commune, nigga. And she snaps his neck. Yo, like, bodies dropping, baby. Bodies is fucking dropping. We see the guard and Arya try to run for the shed.
Yo, son, the way they was flying, they like, nah, son.
Yo, they want Tatsumi to. They with Tatsumi, and the guard said Tatsumi gotta block them off so they can get Arya away to safety.
And he's like, what you mean? He's like, what you mean?
Exactly. Tatsumi like, what the what? What the what?
He's like, I ain't signed up for none of this.
Yeah, he's like, no, I don't want to get carved up and shit like that. So Arya is frightened, and Tatsumi comes in and shit like that. So Akame comes in, but she jumps over Tatsumi to launch at the guard, dodging fire instantly and carve him up. So that last guard is gone.
Yeah, yo, that was wild.
So Tatsumi don't want to get involved, but he's trying to defend Arya. So he ends up trying to block off from Akame. Well, he don't want. He just saw what she just did, and he don't want to be next on the fucking list.
For real.
So we see Leone show up in the background, and she's trying to watch this out to see what's going on. And then like Akame shows that she is far superior to Tatsumi. So because after a couple of strikes, she like stabs him, and you're like, oh shit, this nigga Tatsumi did. But then this nigga shows off. He wasn't really stabbed. It was that fucking lucky talisman in his packet that defended himself. Because if he got that stab, that nigga was getting that poison for sure.
Yo, he definitely was.
So like Akame launches after the girl, but then out of nowhere Leone grabs her off. So she grabs her off from luncheon, and Akame out, and Leone sees that it's the guy that she stole the money from earlier in Tatsumi, but she feels bad that he gets caught up in all that shit. So she's like, he's a good guy. I don't know why he's caught up with this shit. So she was like, all right, you know what? Since you have a predetermined thought of us and shit like that, let's show you what's really going on. And they go off into the shed, and she was like, all right, she's gonna show what the fuck is really going on with this fucked up family.
Yeah, for real, bro.
So Tatsumi remembers her, and he calls her the booby scammer. But so she pulls him off to the shed, and she was like, these motherfuckers is not so innocent. So she shows off the shed, and boy, talk about a fucking plot twist.
Rapper.
They open up the shed, and it is filled with people. The family take in, and it's pour off the streets. They kill them, they torture them, They put him in cages. They test him, everything vile in the world. And Tatsumi is fucking horrified. And then right off that, he looks off and he sees Sayo. So Sayo was in there, and she was dead and hung up and naked, and she's full of blotches and shit like that. And shit was crazy. Arya tries to leave, but Leone grabs her back and pulls her up right there.
Yes, she did.
Yep. And the family and guards, the Leone explained that the family and guards did this. She's like, the family is definitely to be blamed, and the guards knew about this shit, and they didn't stop her and anything. And Arya tries to tell a lie at first, but then in the corner, you see in the cage, you see Eisu is in there shit too. And he is OD full of blotches. He is dying. He's tortured. He's breathing heavy. You can tell he's sick. They said that he was poisoned and tortured and shit like that. And he was like, this sick family took us in and shit like that. And then they gave us something and they knocked us out. And then we woke up in cages and they started torturing them bits by bit. So there's Tatsumi's friend right here, right in front of her, tell him all the truth. And then out of nowhere, Arya is like, fuck that. All right, I admit it. And she comes clean about talking about poor people, how they're all filth and they can't do anything to them because they're rich, so they're allowed to poke and prod at all the poor people that they can. She even says that fucking her friends are fucking their friends is fucking livestock. She killed Sayo because she had better hair, and she calls her a pig.
Yeah, yo. Then she started going off.
Yep. Arya like laid waste to that whole shit. And then Tatsumi was like, fuck that. He was like, you don't gotta handle that. I'ma handle that. And he cut Arya in half with no hesitation.
Yo, he did. He carved
the whole. So that impresses Leone. And Eisu saw what was going on, but he was happy that he saw it before he died of that virus. He was speaking his last words, and they was talking about, Akame was talking about the fucked up part about the scene we saw earlier. She said the mother was giving the poor people a virus that kept she kept a diary full of their reactions. So she was testing different viruses on poor people. She gave I think they said she gave Eisu the Ebola virus.
Yeah.
So Eisu talked of Sayo never breaking. She never gave up. She had a strong will all the way to the end. So it kept them alive to see their friend one last time. He had a will that just kept them strong enough to see Tatsumi show up and kill that bitch. So that was the last thing, and then Eisu died. So I was like, this place is fucked up. So yeah, they agreed to take Tatsumi with them, and they agreed to bury his friends later because they got to be on the run and shit like that. So he has been forced into night raid, and they accept him and they head out, and that's the end of the episode. What did you think of the ending theme?
I like the ending theme just like the first theme.
Yep, the sad piano song with thoughts kind of song, definitely for sure. And then they had the preview and stuff like that. So what did you think of this first step? Your final impression?
I liked it. This first, in the beginning of the episode, I wasn't sold at first. But as the episode went on, I was like, okay, no, I'm on board. Yo, once old girl started wilding out, talking all that crap, talking about they're a plaything, these are people below me, I was like, yeah, take her out.
Definitely. So that was definitely
it's because at this point, I was trying to give old girl the benefit of the doubt, but then I was like, yo, these people in this capital really ain't shit.
Nah, it's dope the way how they did. I said the first episode was as edgy, bloody, but shows the fucked up flip of capitalism just to give a flip perspective of judging a book by its cover. It's wild, and you kind of definitely want to continue off of that. But like, I just want to talk about the judging a book by its cover, because the government put out and said that these night raid people wasn't to be trusted and they're a group of assassins and shit like that. But it's just the mere fact that like he thought everything was Gucci. They was giving him a place to stay and shit like that. They were gonna help him get his job and help him find his friend, or to find out that these fucked up people was like poisoning and torturing the poor and shit like that, using them as livestock and cattle and shit like that. Like, shit was fucked up.
Yo, for real. That shit was wild. That shit
gotta be one of the first. That's gotta be like one of those first episode plot twists that's gotta hook anybody to a show.
Yo, for real. Yeah, that is crazy that the way they did that.
Yep. That shit was good. So we could go on to episode 2, Kill the Authority.
Yep. So give me one sec. Got my notes for that part of the episode.
So we open on 2 graves as Tatsumi finally got to bury his friends and reminisce about the old times when they was together and stuff like that. And now he's feeling kind of alone. But then right out of nowhere, as he's like burying his friends, Leona pulls up to him and then she reiterates. She was like, all right, so do you want to join us still? And Tatsumi's a little hesitant. He's like, you guys kill people, and I don't really want to be down with killing people.
And then he explains to them, like, listen, this ain't all glamorous. You ain't gonna be no heroes. Like, listen, we taking people out for real.
Oh, hold on.
Well, I might be jumping a little ahead. Hold on.
Yeah. So he was dragged into the meeting to see the crew, and then we got the opening that plays with the same vibes and stuff like that. And once again, this is where I noticed that it happened again. The title screen popped up and it said / the Authority.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where he goes to meet people piece by piece. So we start out with the girl who had the big sisters, the purple haired girl named Shell, and her personality is upfront. She's dry, honest. She says she says join us or you gotta die, because you obviously know about us and you could just like fucking talk about us and you could, rat us out and shit like that. She's reading a book that says mend your airheaded ways, which is funny as hell. That define her in a good thing. So that was funny. We get introduced really fully to Mine, who is like quote unquote, she is a tsundere, which is basically one of those little girls who act like mad pompous and shit like that. She tries to fall. She's just like short and rude, not wanting Tatsumi to join because she don't think he's worthy and shit like that. Next character we introduced is Bullet, which we see him outside of his armor. He's a strong, openly gay man with a pompadour hair. He wasn't recognized at first without his armor, but right instantly he tries to shoot his shot at Tatsumi a little, and Tatsumi feels awkward about that shit. The next person we meet after that, the green-haired dude, we see the young pervert Lubbock, who is waiting to see Leon take her top off in the bathhouse, which don't work. She catches him off from behind and starts stomping the nigga out. So we know that nigga's personality right off the bat.
Yeah, I was like, oh man.
And then the next we are introduced to as Akame, which is she's a big eater. She's a wild child with barely any emotions because she talks like extra dry, but she's just all about the killing. But she said if you ain't decide on joining, she ain't feeding you. So she saves all her big food that she has to herself.
Yeah, she's like, if you ain't joining, you ain't getting none.
Exactly. So she's stingy on that. And then after that, we meet the boss, which is she's a woman-led army team. This lady's named Legenda, which her design is badass. She got a metal arm, a missing eye, and she reprimands Leon for late payments, and she grabs her back as she tries to run with her metal arm that extends and shit like that. So Legenda's the captain, and she wants all the details, so she has a big meeting with the rest of them. And that's when she offers him a spot in the group, but she says if he doesn't agree, then he has to stay as a prisoner. He has to work in a factory and shit like that. So Tatsumi says what his goals is. Go ahead.
No, she gave you options. She's like, listen, if you don't want to join, that's fine, but you ain't leaving here.
Yeah, you can't just leave just bygones. He said what his goals is, but at the same time, I mean, they're a group of assassins that work at night and they gotta stay here. I'm not surprised that this random nigga, they can't just let go out, because what if he starts snitching to the cap? Like, you can't trust that nigga. So either you're a prisoner, you work, they'll pay you regardless, but like, if you don't, then they'll have to kill you. I mean, it makes sense to me. But Tatsumi says what his goals is, how he's trying to send his money to his village and shit like that. And Bullet, they explain Bullet here, he used to be a high-ranking officer in the army, but he wants to take corruption down like a man. And Tatsumi is hesitant. The agenda talks about a revolutionary army south of the capital. Night Raid is a group of assassins that are like the in-between to do insider missions and shit like that. They aim to truly take out the minister, because they know he's like true like head of the monarchy. He's the one telling all the fucked up shit to the young emperor who's decided on that shit. Tatsumi loves the idea of a rogue warrior for justice, but they all laugh. And this is where they get the honesty like of the situation, because they're honest as fuck. They said no matter what the fuck they do, they're a group of murderers. They said it head up. They said, yo, understand that they could pay the price at any moment. These niggas could die, they could get snuffed out. out for their deeds. There's no justice. There's no way to like say that what they're doing is in the right. They're just saying that what they're doing, they're trying to get justice for the people who are the poor and the people who are getting treated bad and shit like that. But they understand what they're doing. They're killing people. They know that's not okay, and they can pay at any moment. So it's like that's what they fucking. Yeah. So mine underestimates him. The gender asks if he's ready for the responsibility. They offer payment if he wants to work. If he wants to work, then they'll give him enough money that he can send back to his village and shit like that. Tatsumi's ready to join for his village overall, and they welcome him. And they leave Akame to train.
Wow.
So Negenda says, "Do a good job, or just kill him." So at any point in time, this nigga could die a lot.
True.
So Tatsumi remembers his time with his friends, learning how to cook and shit like that. His first training is to cook a meal for the group. He cooks for the group who run him ragged. They ask him for seconds and thirds and shit.
Yeah, and son, he was like, wow. I'm like, what?
Yep. So they don't make Akame cook, cause she be snatching it. She be snatching all the food for shit like that. So
putting them to work.
Yep. So Mine, Bullet, Lubbock, and Shell all head out on their mission, and Mine leaves him with more work to do as she heads out. So she laughs at him and shit like that, and gives him more work. So Akame and Tatsumi go out to catch rare fish, and Akame goes searching first and catches a few quick ones right off rip. And she's talking about swim at the bottom and conceal your aura.
Yo, for real.
And Tatsumi ends up saying he got it and shit like that, and he ends up only catching 2 fish, which Leona and Negenda clown him for.
Yeah, they really do.
They start to roast him about that shit. They said he said some dumbass shit like, "I got this," and then he jumped into the water, and then he only came back with fucking 2 fish. They was roasting the shit out of my son.
Yo, they were.
Yep. So they aim for the next. So after they have dinner and shit like that, all of the people who are left over, they aim for the next attack. After getting some intel and payment for taking down a corrupt guard named Ogrel and an oil merchant. So this was money provided by a lady she's got a detriment against Ogrel because he killed her fiance, and she got the money via prostitution because Leona said she can smell it off her. So she was paying everything she had for them to get rid of this high-ranking officer in the Imperial Guard and the fucked up oil merchant who was, I guess, selling secrets or something like that. So they talk about Ogrel and his team and Gamal, the oil merchant, that gives payments and secrets and shit like that. So they open the opportunity. They open to opportunity. They want to strike them down when they go to the bar. Cause like one time a week they share stories when they go to the bar. And stuff.
Yeah, that's true. They was nice little chat.
Yeah. So they got Akame wanted poster out there. So they suggested Leone go out there to show off because she don't got a wanted poster, so she's safe to walk. So Tatsumi's ready to go on his first mission, but Akame underestimates. She says he's not ready to kill without hesitation, not out of rage, because he killed Arya because he was full of rage. They was like, we doubt you could kill anybody. So he wants to help before more innocent people are killed. So the ladies decide to go off to handle the oil merchant while Tatsumi aim for Ogrel.
Yeah, man, listen.
So he memorized the map, and they're on Main Street. So Leone talks to Akame about the backstory with her sister. She said they're sold to the Empire young. They were around other kids. They were blindly working through everything until the boss convinced her to get on the other side and shit like that. All the other kids were smoked out by the time she was at the top. So she was at the top. It was basically like a battle royale full of all these poor kids that they kept, and it was like Akame and her sister was left out of like a bunch of kids that was left over, shit like that, and there was the last one left. So the oil merchant pops out in the bathroom, and he gets caught slipping and getting taken out.
Yeah, yo.
This nigga said something about draining the main vein, and he came out there, and them bitches jumped him.
Yo, they did. They really, like, fight back.
Yep. So Tatsumi pulled up on Ogrel to speak privately and fake a guard application.
Like, yeah, I want to apply from the countryside.
Yeah, he was on his knees like that, and he was and Ogrel was like, do it through the regular regulations. I don't got time for this shit. And he turns around, and then that's when Tatsumi gets red strike. But Ogrel's ready for his shit too. So
he was. Yep. So
Tatsumi lunges at Ogro, and he brings him down instant.
Yeah, he really did, bro.
Yeah. Then he gets back up and strikes at him, more angry and pissed off because he stopped his guard at first, but Ogro was like, "Fuck out of here." Ogro and Tatsumi have this fight, and it's fight on the philosophy of he talks about the weak versus the strong philosophy, and he figures out that Tatsumi is part of Night Raid, and that's where his face starts to turn like even more devilish with the lines, just like it did to the minister earlier. It shows that he's a fucking demon and shit like that, and he talks about getting rid of like the poor people, and then he swings with mad veracity. He knows that Tatsumi was hired by the lady whose husband got murdered, and then he said he was gonna take his time. He's gonna find her and he's gonna slaughter her, and then he's gonna find her people and he's gonna kill her. Tatsumi getting super pissed, getting uber pissed at Ogro for talking all this shit. And then Tatsumi proves his worth because by himself he ends up fucking carving Ogro's fucking arms in a fucking like high spiral attack, and then he strikes Ogre from above, and he finishes him and cuts him pretty much in half, and walks away, and he finished him in this one-on-one fight, and Tatsumi's the winner. I was like, Tatsumi surprised me because I thought he was going to need help for this army general and shit.
Yeah, I did too until he thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna find it. I know that lady sent you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna find each one of her friends and family. I'm gonna torture them and make her watch. But first, I'm gonna kill you. I was like, oh, okay.
Tatsumi came out with the whole combo of respect. So that was some good shit. He carved the fuck out of it. So that was good.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yep. I was like, bruh.
Yep. So everybody's back together and they talk about finishing the mission. Tatsumi says he's okay, but Akame gets super worried and she checks on him, and they start randomly stripping him, and Akame talking about like hold him down and shit like that. They got this nigga in his underwear and shit like that. But she was just acting weird because she wants to make sure he's okay, because she's seen other members be overconfident and they lie about their injuries, and the wounds end up being worse, but they don't talk about it until it gets even worse. So she shows her gentler side by that, and he earns hers respect because she was talking about all the training they did earlier. The hunting and the cooking sharpened up his skills for killing. So Tatsumi apologizes for his opinion of Akame earlier because he thought she was a crazy bitch with her crazy like training regimen and shit like that. So he tries to be mad sweet with her, but Leone is on his ass laughing about his corniness and shit. So Tatsumi, they tell him that Tatsumi is working with mine next, and he starts to talk all that shit. He was like, yo, I don't want to work with her. She's rude and shit. And Mine gets, she starts sneezing because, you know, what happens when people start talking shit about you. So the ending theme starts playing, and that's kind of the same vibe for, and we get a preview. So what's your final impression on the second episode?
Yo, I like the second episode. At this point, I was on board. I'm like, take them all out, bruh. Nah, because this corruption and the level of corruption and the way they treat these people, I'm like, bruh, nah. Clip.
100%. I said my final impressions on the second episode follows up real nice on the first, with reflection and understanding the group dynamic, reasons to join, practice, and application. But mostly important, they established this ain't an anime about good people, really. We just following one side trying to get justice over the other. So it lays the basic on everything. Like they're saying like flat out, you follow us, but like we're murderers too. Like they're fucked up people. We're fucked up people. We're just trying to defend the people who can't defend themselves pretty much.
That's it.
Yep. So, how you feel about on the recommendation rate?
Oh, I would definitely continue this.
Yeah, you would continue and you would recommend this further?
Yep, I would definitely keep going with this.
Definitely. I said if you want a thrill anime filled up in a solid like 24 episodes, this will be your bloody action shocker that'll make you want to finish straight through. So fun, I'd say definitely go forward. Definitely continue. Hell, I mean, it's been a couple of years since I watched the show in general, and even though I watched the show and read the manga in full, I mean, it's been a long time, so I've been continuing on, and it's been one hell of a journey. That shit still hitting. I think watching it at a different version than when I was in college and shit like that around my friends, I think I'm looking at the show a little bit differently, so I think I give it more props. So shout outs to looking at stuff differently when you watch it later in life, for sure.
Yeah, for real.
Yep. So we can close the book this week on Akame Got Killed, and co-host hit us with the next review episode that we're doing.
All right, so our next review, we're going to be reviewing Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, on comfy couch doing that. Hanging with Mr. Cooper is, I think, officially available on Prime and Max, so at least that's there. So we're doing episode 1 and 2, right?
Yes, we are.
Right, so we'll be doing that next one. All right, so on that note, we got an email set up at blerdbynature.com, Facebook and Instagram at Blerd By Nature, Twitter at Blerd By Nature, nature spelled Naure. Co-host, hit us with the YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube by searching for Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Yes, get us on everywhere where podcast is available, and YouTube and all the same. Check out our latest upload as we speak so far. It has been the London Takeover. Your boys was out there. If you want to finally see face reveal and all that for the crew and stuff like that, we've been getting major love off of that on our adventures going across the pond for sure. But yeah, any final notes before I hit the outro, co-host?
Nope, take us home.
All right, thanks for joining us today from Black Thoughts and Nerd Power. This is Nicholas, Mr. Go With The Flow.
And this is the man with the plan, Maurice.
And this was another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and until next time, peace.
Peace.